Hello, I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. And let's finally finish this year's January to March to Grapple. God, I've had just a busy schedule this past couple of months. That being said, really need to make that a shirt. Anyway, today we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
The franchise of Sonic the Hedgehog as a film adaptation has been in limbo since 1993 as the rights to make a film has bounced between companies from MGM, DreamWorks, and even Sony for years, having script after script be tossed around until it was sold to Paramount in 2017, that it finally got pushed through. The film stars Ben Schwartz as our Blue Blur, James Marsden as the good cop human friend, and the one and only Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik. The film was originally going to be released in November 2019, but due to universally negative criticisms of the original design of Sonic...
Because, come on, just look at how terrible this is!
The film was then pushed back to release on Valentine's Day 2020.
So let's take a look at the last movie that I actually saw in theaters. Sonic the Hedgehog.
We begin with Paramount's stars being turned into golden rings before diving straight into a chase scene before we get the typical "how did I get here" narration.
Am I going too fast? It's kind of what I do. You know what? Let's back up.
Ow, whiplash.
We go to Baby Sonic, who is showing off his powers, which leads to an attack, forcing his mentor, Longclaw, to have to defend him, eventually leading to her using a ring portal to get Sonic away from the attackers.
You gotta be quicker than that.
We then go to Green Hills, Montana, 10 years later, to see our main human character, Tom, waiting at a speed trap, trying to entertain himself when Sonic decides to start fucking with him and his speedometer. Tom finds a blue quill, and Sonic tries to help a friend in need.
Have you ever felt so alive? This is great, you're doing amazing! Oh jeez.
That turtle is dead!
We follow Sonic through a narrated life, including him reading some Flash comic books, and the narration goes from the life of Sonic and the things he loves about Earth, including Tom and his wife, but we see he is just lonely and has no real friends. We then follow Tom again, who has gotten the great news that he's been accepted into the San Francisco Police Department, but is having anxiety issues over where their life might be going. Later that night, Sonic heads to a baseball field and begins a full game playing with himself as the movie once again beats into the audience that Sonic is a lonely hedgehog. Sonic then begins a depressed and angry run around the bases.
The fuck just happened here? Where's my video?
The explosion takes out the city's power, and Tom finds the quill glowing with massive power. The people for the government don't understand what the power was and feel the only way to figure it out is to call in someone with a high enough IQ, who turns out to be Dr. Robotnik. We then go to a military group whose leader is undermined by Robotnik and made to feel inadequate.
So this is the part of the review where I gush about my second favorite comedian, Jim Carrey. He is perfect for this role. And to be honest, if he wasn't in this movie, I don't believe this movie would have been as successful as it was. So if you love Jim Carrey, give this movie a chance, because it is worth watching at least once just because of Jim Carrey.
sends out a swarm of drones to figure out the power source, learning that it might not be from Earth. Sonic, however, realizes what's going on and gathers up all his belongings to get away to the Mushroom Planet, but instead runs to Tom's garage for a safer place to get away. But, due to the two of them being scared, Tom accidentally tranks Sonic, causing one of the rings to open up to San Francisco, causing Sonic's bag to fall onto a building before closing up. Tom, of course, is confused on what's going on, as Sonic tries to explain to him what is going on.
Not in the mood to get probed.
You think you're worried? I'm not even wearing pants.
Why do they have to acknowledge that? Please don't put on pants!
Robotnik appears at Tom's home, and Sonic asks for help being hidden. Robotnik tries to con Tom into letting him search his home, to which he of course refuses, which lets Carrey go into a huge improv joke-a-thon. However, Robotnik eventually threatens to kill Tom, forcing Sonic out of hiding.
One.
Wait! Don't hurt him!
That screams always made me laugh.
The two of them eventually get away from the drone, and Robotnik is of course pissed. Sonic then tries to explain what's going on, but Tom doesn't think he should risk his life. But Sonic reminds him his problems are Tom's fault. So the film becomes a buddy travel movie, including sightseeing.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was...
Personally, I prefer the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, but to each their own.
They make a pit stop to get food, and Sonic wants to learn what the bar is, so they decide to stay for a while in order to help Sonic complete a bunch of bucket list items. But while they are enjoying their time, a bigot approaches them.
Our kind? What kind is that?
Hipsters.
Hey, hipsters aren't that bad.
Sonic tries to handle the situation by attacking first, but it just turns out into a bar brawl that becomes a huge parody of the Quicksilver running scenes from the X-Men films. The two of them then stop at a hotel with Tom questioning more about the Mushroom Planet.
Well, look at it this way. At least you won't be the only fun guy.
No. Don't ever do that again.
I liked it.
Hey, it is my job to make the bad puns here. Thank you.
While Sonic sleeps, the convenience TV tells us that Tom is being charged with terrorism before we go to the next day, where the two of them argue over Tom wanting to move out. A chase scene begins with Robotnik sending a killer vehicle, but due to the arguing, Sonic's pent-up anger turns into the very first spin dash.
How are you not dead? I have no idea!
You're alive because plot convenience.
The tank turns into a smaller vehicle that Sonic then takes out just as fast as the tank, but it turns out into another smaller robot until Tom takes that out with a flashlight. The robot now turns into an even smaller robot that then turns the truck into a convertible. This tiny robot then becomes a mini bomb that refuses to get off of their bodies until it finally goes off. The explosion, however, knocks out Sonic, forcing Tom to take him to his wife's sister's place for safekeeping. We then go to my personal favorite scene of the film, as Robotnik begins his experiments on the Quill, as he just Jim Carreys his way into the movie. This scene is 100% why I love Jim Carrey so much as an actor, because he just knows how to make people laugh and smile.
I just thought you might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk.
What do I look like, an imbecile? Of course I want a latte.
I love the way you make them!
I, however, will pass because that does not actually sound appetizing in any way.
Tom tries to explain things to his wife, who of course freaks out, but wants to help anyway. Jojo helps Sonic out by giving him his new iconic red shoes, and our group then head to the pyramid in San Francisco and sneak Sonic in to get to the roof, retrieving his rings. The friends have a heart-to-heart about Sonic leaving, but of course, before he can leave, Robotnik appears with his drone.
Okay, did someone leave their Find My Phone on?
Robotnik arms his robot, and Sonic does an idea of shoving Tom and Maddie off of the building in order to save them. It would normally work, but our doctor's aircraft has the power to speed up now using the quill, almost killing the humans, but thankfully he gets a ring activated in time. We then catch up to the beginning of the film as the citywide chase turns into a worldwide chase as the ring sends Sonic from France to China to Egypt, and Sonic then gets blown into a ring heading up the pyramid. With Sonic officially out, Tom stands up for him, even getting a punch in after jumping on Robotnik's aircraft, and Green Hills City begins to stand up for Sonic, as Robotnik just wants to kill him. However, once Tom refers to Sonic as his friend, it revitalizes him and untaps a power and speed that even Sonic did not know he could achieve, using that power to send Robotnik through to the Mushroom World.
Superhero landing!
The movie ends with Tom deciding to stay in Green Hills, and the military gives them a reward for the incident.
Olive Garden.
Yeah. The way you said you'll see made me think it was something better than the things we said.
Have you tried their never-ending pasta bowl? It never ends.
For some strange reason, I don't like this scene.
However, the final scene of the film is Sonic learning that Tom and Maddie have gathered up all of his stuff from his cave into their home to give him a place to live. Robotnik is then seen in his iconic look as he slowly slips into madness.
This movie is awesome.
The film blew up the box office, making $300 million on a $95 million budget, and has massively positive reviews, and was even nominated for many awards, winning a couple of them, including Best Villain for a Movie. And with such a successful outcome, it has become the highest grossing video game film of all time, as well as the 6th highest grossing film of 2020.
Not that there was many movies released last year, but I digress. This movie has comedy, it has action, it has a subpar plot, but what do you get from a video game movie? So, that being said, I would like you, my viewers, to go to my Twitter page, because Batmay is right around the corner, and this year it is going to be picked by all of you. I want to dedicate the entire month of Batmay this year to a villain and diving into their special stories. So, beginning now, go over to my Twitter page, and we are having a contest / voting on what supervillain I shall be covering in the month of May. The next 5 weeks, we will be eliminating one villain at a time. So, that being said, thank you for watching. I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.